Good afternoon, YouTube. How are you doing? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. But everything will be fine. Always is. You joined me on a day where I've managed to bagsy 11 hours sleep after the previous 2 nights of having 3 hours apiece. I was barely human yesterday evening. You may argue that I'm barely human now, but that's not my problem, it's yours. And so I'm feeling good now. And we've had wonderful sort of intermittent sunny weather today. It's been just weather of extremes. I know I keep looking out of the window because I'm still amazed. We've had bright, clear skies, sunshine, and dark clouds and heavy rain and thunder. So you meant that the picture on this video may alter dramatically in between seconds. It's raining now. If the screen goes entirely black and you can't see me, then we'll know that that's the apocalypse. So, the plan of attack for this session of YouTubery is I'm going to answer your questions again. I'm probably going to do 6 of these, I think. So that makes this halfway through the first run, and then I'll leave it a bit and then do another 6. Because if I just keep doing them constantly, you'll get sick of them, I'll get sick of them, and that would be sad. So, let's crack on. There's a wonderful culinary theme for today, and it should be quite entertaining. So thank you for asking, and prepare to be answered. Well, Cathy Davey. I think the only other person I know who is an actual Cathy Davey fan is my best friend Mike, who nudged me in her direction when we used to work in the shop. Anyone else I know who likes Cathy Davey are people to whom I've shoved her music into their faces. I went through a spate of buying people Cathy Davey albums for Christmas, and I think it's purely on the strength of my sales alone that we kept her first album in our shop for so long. So I do absolutely love Cathy Davey. As for what song I will play you at the next open mic, I would like to play something more recent. I haven't learnt any of her new songs. I don't think I've learned anything from Tales of Silversleeve either. I only know how to play a couple of songs off Something Ilk. But I'm working on it, and it shall be a surprise, which really is a useless answer for this video. Yeah, I'm working on it. As for my favourite sandwich, to be honest, it's got to be the bacon sandwich. It transcends any form of bread. You can put it in any kind of bread and it will be nice. And although soft white bread, actually, that's what a bacon sandwich really has to be on. You put bacon on brown bread when you've got nothing else in the house. But it's still nice, never ruins it. I think that's my point. I did manage to blind myself quite a few weeks ago now. I was going through a hardcore bacon sandwich weekend, and I'd just slathered the thing with ketchup, and I was pulling because I managed to get a bit of bacon rind, and I was pulling to disentangle it and catapulted a splodge of tomato ketchup right into my eye. And I think it's a testament to how much I love the food that I finished eating the sandwich before I cleaned my eye. Oh, tricky, tricky. Top three. It's actually a very difficult choice. Um, I can name the top two. I can name two songs. The number two spot goes to "Distant Sun" by Crowded House because it's one of the best pop songs, and it stayed with me a long time. That song, and it's one of those songs that can be, if you hear it at the right time, it can be so uplifting that you find yourself with a lump in your throat purely out of joy. And that's one of those songs that does that. The number one spot, one of my favourite pieces of music, is "Going to Your Funeral Part 2" by Eels, which, despite the title, is it captures that feeling, actually. You know when you come out of a funeral and you've cried your socks off. I don't want to say anything too rude on YouTube, but yeah, it's made you know that feeling when you come out of a funeral and you've cried, and you get to the wake, and this wonderful feeling of well-being, and that sort of a bittersweet optimism tends to seep into the proceedings, and and that's what that piece of music really does for me. It gives me that, I tend to hear it. It tends to turn up on my MP3 player when I'm feeling a bit down, and it just bucks me up and puts a little bit more of a spring in my step, which it's a nice quality for a piece of music to have. But then there's a number three spot just waiting there to be filled, and I don't know. There's too many things I could fill it with. There's "Go With The Flow" by Queens of the Stone Age. There's "Gurecki" by Lamb. I love that song. "Shiny" by the Decemberists. There's "Learning to Breathe" by Narina Palo. There's "Keep Running" by Gemma Hayes. There's "Little Red" by Cathy Davey. And "Reckless" by Liam Finn. There's more songs that I can think of by all those people that I absolutely love. I love playing them. "Lover I Don't Have to Love" by Bright Eyes as well. All these songs that, I could cheat and make a medley out of all those songs. If you were to let me just run all of those songs that I've mentioned into one long MP3, would that count? Could I have that? Because I can't choose. As for a last meal, well, as much as I love gammon steak, and I do love gammon steak, and as much as I love a lasagna, it would have to be Chinese takeaway. I love Chinese. It's just the best food. And if it's a last meal, I would go to an all-you-can-eat buffet. The immediate advantage of that is every time they're about to cart me away, because that's my last meal, I'll be able to say, no, I'm not finished. Because it's obvious, isn't it? Every time you finish one, about an hour later, you're gonna want another. So, I could stay there indefinitely. My last meal could go on for years. So yeah, that's the. Oh, sorry, I think I've just tapped my feet, and that may have shown up on this. I don't know, because it's a very sensitive microphone. The other day I told it was adopted, and it didn't like it at all. Did you? See, I like this because I'm spotting a pattern now. Is that every week somebody asks a question which will actually necessitate some research. Well, I say every week. I mean, I'm not quite sure that the baby pigeon fiasco necessitated research, but you know, I would have liked to have done research for that somehow. Anyway, carrots. I looked into this. I was initially just going to give a really silly answer, which would have been, I don't know, something along the lines of just to encourage kids to turn the light off when it's bedtime. But no. It was a story that was developed, well, that was kind of fed out during the Second World War, according to what I've read. Because I think it was something to do with the Germans wanting to, they were trying to figure out how the RAF were doing so well on their campaigns comparatively, and so the story went out that all the RAF pilots were eating carrots and it was improving their eyesight, when in reality they had better planes and a better radar system, and that was what it was. So it's all down to the Second World War. Although, interestingly enough, you never see a rabbit wearing glasses. Well, that's it. 3 down, 3 to go. All good fun. Hope you're enjoying them still, and thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in your droves to see my Narina Palo cover. I've had 102 hits on that so far. That's exciting. You really stumped me with your talk of food, because I have no songs about food, so I ought to write one at some point soon. In the meantime, this song is one I just felt like playing, really. And this song is about not texting your friends at 2:30 in the morning. And this song is called Apology from a Distance, brackets, Puppy Kicker. Until next week, cheerio. Cut off your ties 'cause you've had a bad night. Good luck with what's left in the morning. The only thing you'll hear from me is an apology from a distance. So I'm sorry I can't keep my thumbs to myself. I'll just stop reaching out. I thought it would help when you kicked that one down and you cast my mind right into doubt. There seems to be loads of dead things in the road, squashed by passing cars. And I feel like that hedgehog when his insides out, trying desperately to push them back in. So I'm sorry I said that I keep playing dead. I'm embarrassed as well as depressed. And it doesn't feel fine when I'm out of my mind, and I don't think you want to know the rest. Ba boo da dee da doo 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 ba ba. Ooh doo da dee da ba boo ba bee ba ba. Boo doo ba doo 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 da doo ba ba boo doo ba doo ba ba. You cut off your ears to spite your mind, and you gouge out your eyes to spite your heart, and you hack off your lips to spite your tongue, till all you're left with is your nose. Well, good luck to you then, I suppose.